The Most Absurd Deaths of Kings Part 8. William E. King of England, the death of William E., the third son of King William I the Conqueror, can be described as truly aristocratic, though absurd. On August 2, 1100, William set out on a hunt with a retinue of aristocrats. During the pursuit of prey, the group of courtiers separated, leaving the king with one of his close associates, Walter Tyrrell. In the evening, they encountered a deer. The king took a shot at it, but missed. Soon, another deer ran by, and Tyrrell shot at it, but the arrow, glancing off the deer's fur, struck the king, killing him instantly. The official cause of death of the 44-year-old monarch was ruled as an accident and divine retribution. A number of churches even refused to toll bells for William E. Adolf Frederick, King of Sweden. King Adolf Frederick died on February 12, 1771, in Stockholm from a stroke caused by an overly hearty meal. He began his meal with lobsters and caviar, which whetted his appetite, then continued with salted herring and crisp sauerkraut, washed it all down with pumpkin soup, and finished with a dessert of traditional Swedish cream buns and almond paste. The monarch unexpectedly took ill and soon gave up the ghost. Philip E. the Young, King of France. One of the most absurd deaths in medieval history was the demise of the French King Philip E., posthumously nicknamed the Young. In the Middle Ages, pigs roamed freely through European cities. On October 13, 1131, one such pig decided to take a stroll through the streets of Paris, and that decision changed the course of world history. On that day, the 15-year-old Philip was, as usual, riding through Paris on his favorite horse. The king was accompanied by a grand retinue, and the city's residents crowded around. At that moment, the same pig rushed out onto the street the royal party was traveling on. Frightened by the loud sounds, it loudly squealing rushed straight under the hooves of the king's horse. Philip was thrown from the saddle and hit his head on the stone pavement. He lay motionless, a puddle of blood forming under his head. Thus perished Philip E., forever remaining the Young. Empress of Austria Elizabeth of Bavaria, as the wife of Emperor Franz Joseph I, Elizabeth held the position of Empress of Austria and Queen of Hungary for 44 years. This continued until September 10, 1898, when she was assassinated by a terrorist named Luigi Lucchini. This was a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. By his own admission, Lucchini personally had nothing against Elizabeth. The Italian anarchist simply despised all royalty and wealthy people in general. His intended target was Prince Philip, the Duke of Orleans. Unfortunately for all participants except the Duke, Lucchini arrived too late in Geneva and missed his chance. Scanning the newspapers, he found another target in the city, Elizabeth. As Elizabeth was walking along the Geneva waterfront accompanied by one of her ladies-in-waiting, Countess Irma Staré, Lucchini ran up to her and struck her with an ice pick, a sharpened three-cornered file. The blow knocked her to the ground, leaving only a tiny puncture wound in the area of her heart. However, Elizabeth did not understand the true meaning of what had happened. Thinking the assailant simply wanted to steal her jewelry, she got up and tried to continue her walk with the lady-in-waiting. Only a few minutes later did she feel weak, a sharp pain in her heart, dizziness. The Empress collapsed to the ground, lost consciousness and soon died. Luigi Lucchini was apprehended and sentenced to life imprisonment. On October 10, 1910, he hanged himself in his cell. Continued in the next part. Dear friends, if you enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and leave a comment if you wish.